That came up through the same diocese. Before that, the same neighborhood and life around South suburban Dalton. But even the Archbishop of Joliet did not see Pope Leo coming. Well, now it is the future of the church that's become the focus for Bishop Ron Hicks. And tonight we have a one-on-one on the ascent of his old boss at the Vatican. White smoke from the Vatican sends a signal to the world. It's about to meet the first American Pope. Here in Chicago, his birthplace, and in South suburban Dalton, his hometown, Leo mania took hold.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what he does.
One of those already well-versed on the virtues of Father Bob Prevost, Father Ron Hicks.
I'm still wrapping my head around that. What seems impossible is possible. And it's just a time for great rejoicing.
Last time I caught up with my St. Jude grade school classmate from South Holland was in 2020 when he was installed as the Bishop of the Joliet Archdiocese. Almost 5 years later, we reconnected to marvel at how our backyard in the south suburbs made history.
He just doesn't seem like some figure or theory out there, but he's a real normal guy from a normal neighborhood like we grew up in, and for me it makes him so relatable.
Pope Leo XIV was inaugurated in a Mass at St. Peter's. Though on a much larger scale, it was a scene much like the Holy Rite at St. Raymond's Cathedral when Bishop Hicks was installed to the leadership post in Joliet. Hicks met the then Cardinal 4 years later when he was giving a talk at one of his parishes.
I attended the talk. I sat there in the front row, and I think everyone walked away saying, I learned something tonight. I learned something about our faith. I learned something about our church. And he did so in a way that was clear, concise, creative, and finally humble.
The two chatted about Pope Francis, the universal church, and his work in the diocese.
5 minutes turned into 10 minutes, and the 10 minutes turned into 15, and the 15 turned into 20.
And then he asked how he was doing. And that's when he realized his skill as an orator and his passion, knowledge, and intellect weren't his only assets.
He takes more time to listen than to talk. And I experienced that with him.
His down-to-earth approachability is one thing. Hicks says Leo has a boldness that compels him to stand up for issues that impact the world: war, poverty, and immigration.
He doesn't back away or shy away. I think it's significant that he took the name Leo. Within our tradition, it just shows that he has a love for social justice, that peace and social justice.
And he'll do it, Hicks says, as a bridge builder.
And then be a voice for expressing what does the church teach and why, and try to do so with the heart of the shepherd.
I asked Bishop Hicks if he sees any of himself in Pope Leo. What sort of inspiration does he serve for you as a priest, as a bishop, as a man of God?
I recognize a lot of similarities between him and me. It's we grew up literally in the same radius, in the same neighborhood together. We played in the same parks, went swimming in the same pools, like the same pizza places to go to. I mean, it's that real.
The Pope and the Bishop were also both missionaries to Latin America and found their ministry early in life. Where the Southsiders diverge is what baseball team they root for.
His brother has said, yes, definitely, he is, and always will be a Sox fan. And I grew up a Cub fan. I'm a Cub fan because my father is a diehard Cub fan. He wanted us to know that we were loved, but that we'd stay Catholic and we'd stay Cub fans. So in my family, there was no getting around either of those things. Building that bridge was apparently too much. Next month, Bishop Hicks will participate in the Mass planned at Rate Field. He will celebrate alongside Cardinal Blaise Cupich, who will preside over the Mass hosted by the Chicago Archdiocese on June 14th.